I'm going to start with, well, thank you all for being there. Whatever part of the world you are from and you are in right now. And speaking of the world, from ancient times, if you think about it, the world has broken every record that's been set by someone somewhere. And guess what? The world has broken yet another record, and that is the hottest day on record on the earth was recorded on 3rd of July. And why am I bringing that up is because today, 8th of July, is where right now as we speak, 99% of the earth and therefore population has the sunlight being spread on them without the distinction or difference between the time zones and whatever it be, they still have daylight, sunlight, powerful light around them. Maybe it's at dusk, maybe it's dawn, maybe it's cloudy, but whatever it is, they are enjoying the daylight. Why do I bring that up? It's because if we are here to speak about what are we doing on this earth, yes, of course, we got absolutely proud parents, proud siblings, proud partners, spouses, whatever you want to call them. But there is a reason why we are here. And someone said it some time ago that two most significant moments in life for anyone are the moment we are born and the moment we find out our purpose. And given that purpose can be turned into so many different definitions, it could be purpose, it could be passion, it could be a cause, it could be mission, it could be vision, and it could be the strategic goal that we set for ourselves. Now, those are the two proudest and the best moments of our lives. And hopefully, you have uncovered the purpose, the passion, the mission. And you haven't. It's okay. You will very soon because you already have the answers right in here. You just have not asked the right questions yet. So begin to ask the right questions and see how the road ahead unfolds for you. Life is short, globe's too small. Make every moment count in life, in whatever steps, whatever decisions you take. It's going to come back and give you manyfold in good return. Why do I say that? It's because there are places, everyone has a powerful story. And they end up doing things for others every single day with no expectations in return, but somehow destiny and therefore life has a way to pay you back in limitless amounts, whether tangible or otherwise. You will not and you should not be surprised about how life will reward you for you doing some work. At the moment, it sounded like there was no payment or reward or incentive for you, but everything is being kept a record of, just like the accountants do, the credits and the debits. And if that be the case, fill up your column of credit so much that you'll soon be the envy of everyone else and they will scratch their head going, how the hell he or she does this without any expectations. So this is the foundation of our talk today. And before I get into such a didactic conversation, I'd rather open it up and see if there are friends anywhere in the world that have questions, thoughts, ideas, insights, tips, or nuances that you wish to share. Go on, be open, don't shortchange yourself because you have such a powerful story to tell. I'm waiting. And of course, in the meantime, I hope that you're enjoying the moment wherever you are. What are the thoughts? I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but this is fair game. Anyone can please ask the questions. If not, we'll move on. So my CTO will tell me how long do we wait, but I think Nishmis has something he wants to share. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you that well, sir.
Sir, can you hear me now? Is it audible to you?
Brilliant. Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. The thing is, these days, like we are so eventually like thinking of like what we gonna do in life, like, and as the time is going by and passing by, and we are just becoming selfish these days, basically. So it is like more of the thing that we are thinking of ourselves and what we gonna create the very next day. It's all depending upon like how we gonna work it, how we gonna work today. This is like what is happening in my mind, basically. So this is like I want to do it like today. I want to do it for myself. I don't have anything for tomorrow. These are the things that are like happening with me. So eventually, I think that things are happening with the other people who have joined this panel as well. And I'm like pretty confused, like what to do next, like how to like have a better life going ahead. So I'm not sure about it.
Brilliant thought, brilliant question. If there are others who are making notes of this, I want to give you a magic formula. As I started my statement by suggesting that everyone has the answers right here. We just have not asked the right questions. So Nishmish, to be fair to you and to everyone, since you so openly and candidly committed and announced that you are only thinking about yourself and what to do today, tomorrow, and therefore, let's give it a term, you're a bit selfish about yourself. And why not? Right? Nishmis, I'm yet to find a human being. I'm yet to find a human being, not that there are none. I'm yet to find a human being that is not selfish at the end of the day. And if we are not, we're not living to our purpose or the passion or the mission and all of that, right? But here is the formula and here is the approach that I would like for you to start thinking about and begin to work on it one step at a time. See, you can't climb Mount Kilimanjaro or Everest or Mount Fuji in one step. You got to take one step at a time to be able to get there. So here is the formula for it. Magic, miraculous, whatever you call it. I have seen magic happen by this question. Almost everyone, Nishmish, tends to ask the question, before I do that, what's in it for me? Turn that coin around, flip that coin, and look at the other side. And instead of asking what's in it for me, ask what's in it for them. And I guarantee you, I'm willing to take a bet, you will open up the entire universe to be able to help you in whatever help you seek, whatever direction you wish to take, and get to your destination and goal with just a bit easier than you thought it was possible. Brilliant question. Great thought. Yes, we are all selfish, but to a certain extent, we ought to start asking what's in it for them, just so that you can approach life and others with a sense of servitude. As soon as you say to yourself, Nishmesh, I am here to serve others, there is no replacement for that. And you will see absolutely the most glorious sunrise or sunset wherever you are, just by asking that question, because you will have fulfilled an absolutely enormously extraordinary day or night, whatever it be. And that's why the term that I use, when you are at night, let's say you're sitting probably somewhere in the night, which has passed about 10 o'clock in the evening, Nishmesh, and therefore you're saying, but Ben, it's in the evening, it's dark. What the heck do I do? Where's the sunlight? This is what I ask you to do relentlessly 24 hours a day. And that is, when the sun may have said goodbye, start looking and continue to search for the stars, planets in the dark, till the sun comes back and spreads light and makes your world colorful again. I've got so many stories that I can share, but we're going to take a step at a time. I hope that answered your question. I hope that helps you a bit than what you had asked for. Mr. Khan, your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts and advice. I see that you've started a new community. You already had a book through which you were reaching out to a lot of people. You were sharing your insights on and your learning. Now that you have started a new community, what are you trying to achieve or convey through that?
Another great question. The community, how do we define community? First of all, if we think about what is a community, what makes a community, community is a gathering of people where we are openly brainstorming and discussing almost every facet of life, every chapter of life. Obviously, I'm not asking you to share your secrets or anything, but community is a gathering of people, leaders, where we can freely talk about what's on our mind. And therefore, you never know. You are vocal enough to share what's on your mind. There are those who are saying, I don't feel comfortable sharing that here. But as soon as they hear that one person has felt comfortable, and therefore it's a collection of people to put them in their comfort zone, to be able to then stretch them outside of their comfort zone, because guess what? Magic lies outside of your comfort zone. And that's what we are looking to build. Community-wise, yes, gathering of people, make it so cohesive that it becomes so trustworthy to be able to go to and begin to see and feel that we can share even the most mundane or trivial topics to the most significant topics in our lives that can therefore later on impact and affect and alter other people's lives as well. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you. I noticed that you had this book. You already have a book on Amazon, Legacy Forward Made Easy.
Yes.
And now on this community, I see, this on the same pattern that looks like you're trying to share some of this, your thoughts on these topics. I'm sharing my screen to show you what
Yep.
you have. But what's your roadmap through this community? Like, are you going to share or help people through different workshops to live legacy?
Yes. In fact, great question. If you think about it, Mr. Khan, it so happens that when, like you said, the roadmap, when you think about, and I like to give examples, anecdotal examples, only because that's what sits in people's heart, rather than be truly just a very boring philosophical approach to life. So if you think about it, when the baby starts crawling, baby does not know where he or she is going. But the father has a way to train them in such a way that they will see a certain incentive which they will go for, right? So they will put either a cookie or a snack or a bottle of milk, and the baby will crawl to the bottle of milk and pick it up and do what babies do most easily, right? Fast forward to from babies crawling to us in lives. We went through, I'm assuming, school. We went through high school. We went through college. We started working. We opened up our own businesses, whatever it be. We are always either searching for the roadmap or looking to see who is going to be our mentor. My challenge to everyone is, instead of looking for the who as a person, begin to look for where. And if you notice, if you scroll up, you will see it, that first chapter is the star. Now, why do I use this? And I'm not going to go into the detail about it, but just so that everybody is on the same page. When it's dark, what do the sailors look for when they didn't have the compass or the map, or in technological terms, it's called GPS? Where did they find their route to take them to where they needed to go? They had one constant, and that was the North Star, right? My invitation to everyone is, find your North Star. Find your true star and see how your life will navigate towards getting to the North Star. Now, mind you, your North Star can be your goal, your mission, your purpose, your vision, whatever it be. But find your North Star and begin to take either baby steps or run a marathon to it or sprint to it. You never know. As I say and claim to everyone, keep climbing. Your peak is right around the corner. I hope that answers the question as far as what are we looking to do. These are the chapters from the book. What does star signify in your life? What does leaf do? Leaves is a part of the nature. What are the gifts? Everyone is looking to either give you a gift, offer you a gift. Don't feel that you're by yourself. Don't ever feel left out. Always think that there is someone right around next to you for the tapping of the shoulder and saying, I need your help. And see, as soon as they hear these magic words, I need your help, you will see how readily they open themselves up to help you. I'm not going to go into the detail of every chapter right now, only because I want to be careful. I want to be more reciprocal to those that are here. So Nishmish probably has so many questions and thoughts and ideas because, like I said, he's a mentor, he's a teacher, he's a poet, he's a producer, he's a marketer. He's just all in one. I hope that answers the question. Nishmish, your thoughts.
Sir, I agree with your points, and yes, that's true. But the purpose of that as your title says, there's a word in your title which says legacy, right? And the most of the time I spoke to you, you always you told me that live your life like you are a legend. The very next day when you're no more, then at least people should know that you are a legend. So that is what the thing is. So that is what I'm trying to understand. Like nowadays, if I talk about the youngsters, like the people who are like newborn, like I can say like I'm 37, 36 right now. And these days, people the fellow youngsters, they think why not to think for own, why not to give it to the someone else, basically. So that is what the entire thing comes in. So where I get somehow somewhere I get confused, why we don't think about let us give it to the other one, and what we will get from the other, that is for us. It is not in terms of monetary circulation, but it is something that we are eventually gaining out of it, that we are even creating a name out of it, right? So that is what the whole thing, how we can bring an impact, how we can bring a change to the society or to the community. So that's what the thing is. Yeah.
Okay, got it. You're absolutely right. Age, my friend Nishmish, is just a number. Honest to God, age is just a number. One person who was absolutely thriving at 94, when somebody said, "Oh my God, you're old." Yeah, congratulations, you're 94. You know what his words were? He said, "I'm not 104 yet." Right? So everything is in perspective. Now think about it, Nishmish, you brought up something so interesting. So rather than give you a philosophy about it, I'm going to give you an anecdote, okay? I have flown around the world so many times, I won't even give you a number. But what's in it for them is what came alive on one of my flights from Singapore to London. And I was fortunate to have been in first class. And Singapore Airline has a flatbed. It's the top of the world airline, #1 and all that for a number of years and all. And I had a lady walk up to me at the gate before boarding, and we started talking. And she was hurting so badly in her knee, and she was crying, and she said, "I don't know how I will be comfortable in this 14-hour flight. I don't know what to do." And without telling her anything, Nishmish, I walked up to the ticket counter, told the agent, "I want you to give my seat to her." I didn't do it for any reason. I just felt empathy for her, gave the seat to her. And guess what? The captain, the purser, and the entire airline crew on that flight found out about that somehow, that I had done that. It didn't matter. I was still in the back of the bus. It didn't matter. But they ended up telling and writing to the president of Singapore Airline. And Nishmish, here is the beauty. I got 5 years of limitless upgraded seats on Singapore Airline or their partners, partner airlines, to fly anywhere in the world. Now, did I expect that? Did I want that? No, absolutely not. Right? But this is what I mean when you start thinking about others by asking what's in it for them. I don't know the lady, and yet I did that. I'm not showing off. I'm just merely trying to tell you and prove a story that that's what happens. Here is what you also mentioned, which was so pertinent. The young ones these days are just always saying, I just want it for me. I've got news for them. When you look for short-term gains at the cost of a strategic sacrifice, you will only live and gain short-term, temporary and meager, minor gains. But begin to open your mind and think about what lies in this infinite world of humanity. You'll be amazed as to how the world ends up treating you with such lofty gifts and rewards. You and I, Nishmish, cannot change everyone all at once, but it is my hope that if I meet someone, if I work with someone one-on-one, I guarantee you, and I'm willing to take a bet, I will make a dent and a difference in their life by altering their thinking, their approach to life, and therefore helping them live their legacy to leave their legacy. Fair? Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Ben, for answering in such a beautiful way that I
Well, you're very kind. You're very kind, and I thank you. Mr. Khan, anything else that we have that you wish to touch on?
Yeah, just an invitation to engage on this community that we have created. I mean, so on this, you also have this area where people can share their thoughts and
Yes.
get feedback from you, and you can also engage with them as we have done some in the past.
So if you scroll down, if you scroll down, that's a great example. Look at what Mr. Kim Kirsten said. Go up just a little bit. Right there. So this is based on what I had said about stories, right? Look at this. I think most of us minimize the significance of stories in leadership within the organization to the detriment of organic growth, because people just don't think that they, organization or leaders, want to hear about us. But look at what Kim Kirsten said about, yes, stories are what builds cultures, and therefore, look at this. He's saying, hey, even grandkids. So not only cross-functional and cross-cultural, but it is becoming quite cross-generational as well. So to the point, Nishmish, if you think about it, when we start to share stories, and I hope that you'll share the story about Singapore Airlines that I just shared with you, with those that are so stuck in their ways about, nope, I only want it for me. Why am I going to give it to you? I'm not going to give it to him, her, whoever else. Does that make sense? I hope so. Right, Mr. Khan?
Yes, Ben, true that.
Mr. Khan, what else? So yes, of course, we want to start the community brainstorming, back and forth interactions. They can even do it live. They'll share their recordings and or write a question or comment or thoughts or whatever it be, or concerns. And we are so timely, we will come back to them in this.
Yeah, so maybe this is a question for Nishmish. Based on what you've heard so far and with your prior interaction and what you saw on community, some of the features that we are bringing together, Do you have some ideas, or do you see how people could benefit from this? How you could benefit, but how other people, in fact, the kind of people that you've mentioned, how we can reach to them and help them grow in their own thinking and some of the ways that you were highlighting?
Thank you so much, Khan, for giving me that question. But what I believe is, this is not something that that one day everything can change. But what I believe, like once any other person once become a part of kind of an event, and they will eventually understand by themselves like what they are doing and what they have to do, and what like how they have to think. And that's how the changes can be brought, in life, that becomes real, in fact. So so that is what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the thinking behind bringing this community platform. As you've been listening to Ben through other mediums, Ben has been sharing his thoughts, and other people similarly through webinars nowadays and through books. People come join the webinar, they listen to it, they watch a lot of YouTube videos, get inspired, and they go and do their own job, or the way they've been doing things. We are hoping that through this, with interaction and ongoing interaction, by ongoing engagement, people will be able to change slowly, just the way you said. The change does not happen overnight. It takes slow nudging and helping each other, being accountable to each other. So by coming together in a community format, we can help each other be accountable and think that we promise. And so yeah, we recognize the slow pace of change that happens in real life. There's no way to get inspired by one YouTube video and go change yourself, right? So we think that regular engagement and ongoing engagement with people, with like-minded people, or people who can help each other grow, that's the thought process. So exactly the same goal that you said, we are hoping that this can help us achieve.
Mr. Khan, I'm so sorry to interrupt you in between, and I believe you're not from India, so, and I'm so sorry, my English is really not that good, but I just want to keep one point is, when we talk about people come and join a webinar and they listen to it, they get motivated for another 10-15 minutes, and they go to other YouTube videos and they just get involved in the other book. So what is more important here to how the people should follow what is the webinar is going about. Basically that's the real point here is all about, right? So nowadays that's what the whole thing I have brought at the very beginning, that nowadays people are thinking there are a lot of opportunities are coming up into the terms of digitalization. Once we used to talk about YouTube, now it has become Instagram, Facebook, that now recently the thread has come in. So these things are happening. So who is basically making a changes in the world these days is the youngsters. So once youngster is the other person, the other guy is not understanding what he has to do in his life. He's following the trend, what the Instagram is doing or what the YouTube is doing or what the fellow the YouTuber is doing. He's doing eventually the same way, he's following the same person. Then there is of no point of he can bring some change until and unless he will not understand that what he has to do and what he can bring it towards the community or towards the society. So it is more important to make to make him understand this is what is important and this is what is necessary, and then he will be doing the the unexpected thing. So that is what I believe basically. So I'm so sorry, again I said my English is really bad, and if you can understand what I try to understand, what I try to make you understand in that.
Yeah, Nish, you speak English very well, actually. And in fact, I will have to learn a little bit more to be fluent. But I get your central theme about change, and also sounds like you are very concerned about the younger generation. I heard what Ben said about age and different generations. So in that sense, you are also young compared to, again, Ben maybe, or maybe me, but that doesn't matter. What I think your message is about change that you would like to see. And what I've heard, I think it was Gandhi who said, if you you need to make the change in yourself to see the change that you're looking for in the world, right? I think, Ben, if you may have exact quote.
Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right. So it starts with one person at a time, right? And that, I think, is the goal that Ben has, and he had been trying to do, not only trying, but he has helped a lot of people make those changes as well. We want to see those changes in other people, the younger generation. We want them to get on board. One of the other things, if I understood correctly, you mentioned about a lot of these social media and social media tools. The theme that I see there is there's just so much content, it's overwhelming. You can watch so many videos, you can post your own videos and Instagram posts and everything, but that means that you are just overloaded with information. That information overload is more confusing, it's more stressful, and it doesn't produce much change, the kind of changes that you want. And what is required to have that slow paced change that happens is some kind of a structure and blueprint. And that's one of the things that we're trying to offer here, that we follow this roadmap. I'm sharing my screen to show you what Ben has in his book. And that's the theme, to see if you follow this step by step, looking at other role models, how they have done it, then probably you have a blueprint for success and blueprint for change, right? And that, again, just by reading that or listening to it, it's not going to happen. You need some support system. We need some support system. We help each other. And that's where some of this community aspect and engagement comes into place and takes place.
Nishmish, your English is impeccable. If you seriously were to say that again to somebody who also speaks multiple languages and studied in a Hindi and a Gujarati medium, I would say that your English is probably in the 99% higher than where the others are. So you're doing fantastic. Don't ever shortchange yourself. Again, you have a powerful story. Get that in your heart. Know it here and throw the fist in the air and say, yes, my English is fantastic. But given that, here is the thing that you seem to reiterate and emphasize quite a bit because of the younger generation and what you see around you, as to there is no sense of change or whatever that you feel is a utopia or a good change or ideal society would look like. Here is my possible learning for all of us. You know, let's assume right now, and I'm just going to hypothetically suggest this, but let's assume right now that it's about 10:15 in the night for you or 11 in the night for you, and you just finished fabulous dinner because you knew that you were going to be on this call for about an hour or so, and you were not happy staying hungry. Okay, so you have fabulous 5-7 course meal. Now you're sitting there a bit relaxed, eager to learn, eager to listen and share. And somebody, your spouse, your partner, your friend, whoever comes by and says, hey, I've got this absolutely fantastic cake that I just picked up at the best bakery in the city that you live in. And you must finish it because it is freshly made and it will stay so magnanimous if you have it tonight. The reason I bring that up, Nishmish, is ask you one question. Mind you, you already had the fabulous 7-course meal. Will you have that cake right now? Chances are not, right? Because you care for yourself. And if you're, let's say, a little more greedy and you want to please your friend a little bit more, or your spouse or your girlfriend, you'll say, okay, fine, I'll take one bite. That one bite is what we got to keep in mind in saying to those that are not looking to make the change. We want to give them one bite so that they will taste it and they'll come back for more. And that's what brings up the desire and the keenness to make the changes. So the line fundamental that I want to leave you with as far as this learning is, if you're not hungry, the most royal foods in the world will mean zero to you. If you're hungry and thirsty, even the bread and the lentil will taste like a nectar. Thank you. Mr. Khan, Nishmish, thoughts? Your thoughts? Are we still on?
Yeah. No, that's
Yes,
good.
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nishmesh.
I'm just like speechless. Like, this is very precisely and, like, very straightforwardly told to the point, and no doubt I'm really very motivated at this point. I don't know how to express like what I have to say, because Mr. Khan, like, you won't believe, like, most of the time I speak to Ben, I used to get the same feeling, because he's one of the person who always motivates me in such a way that, I'm the king, like, I can do anything in life, and that's what keeps me going, and that is how, like, I want to roll throughout my life, like, basically. So that's it, and thank you so much, Ben, for saying that. Like, it means a lot.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Mr. Khan, let me know what else is on the agenda, or we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think this is the message we wanted to convey, and also introduce this community for an ongoing engagement, so that
Yep.
people can engage, not make this doesn't have to be synchronous. At any point you have a thought, you can share. You don't have to wait for a webinar or an event to share. So that's what we wanted to also introduce here. And Nishmish, everybody else that you want to benefit from it, or see the transformation in them, maybe you want to engage them and invite them to join in, and work with Ben.
Great. Well, Nishmis, thank you for being here. I know this is supposed to be your Saturday night party time, and yet you elected because you were hungry and thirsty for this. And that's why you came to participate, to lead, and to engage with us in this